Welcome to the podcast, Blessed as a Mother. I'm so happy you could join me here for my very first episode. Now, this has definitely been a long time coming. I have been talking about this podcast forever, that it's quite frankly embarrassing how long I've been talking about it, but I have wanted to do this podcast literally forever. So, about me, my name is Tanisha. I am a mom of 3, and I am in the stage of life in motherhood that I like to call the trenches. Okay, I have 3 young kids. My oldest is 5, my middle child is 3, and my youngest is 1. Yes, she is 1 years old, and it is so chaotic around here. All my kids are so rambunctious. My 2 boys have so much energy. My girl, she is a boss. Okay, she runs me ragged. And the fact that I am sitting here today, even recording this, is like literally crazy. I think the fact that I have 3 kids makes it so much harder to sit here and take the time to do this. It's easy to do like some of the back end works, like come up with ideas, think of designs and things like that. But to sit down and actually record literally is the hardest thing that I have found for trying to do this podcast. I feel like with 3 young kids, everything in life is hard. But the fact that my oldest is 5, he is like 5 going on 15. We call him the politician because he is a talker. He just talks and talks and talks. And he can talk to quite literally anybody. So we'll be in the store and he just comes up and says, hello. And now I'm stuck talking to a perfectly good stranger for no reason. My middle child, we call him the muscle because literally he wrestles with everyone. He tackles everyone. He has no spatial awareness. So with him and my little one, it's really hard because he'll like be swinging his arms and doing all kind of crazy chaotic stuff. And I'm like, do you not see your sister right here? Like, she's still a baby, so you need to be careful. He will come up to you and like headbutt you and you're like, what is going on? Because he just comes up and does anything. So we call him the muscle. He is definitely going to be a linebacker if he stays the way he is, or he might be defensive line because he is just solid. He eats everything. He'll eat you out of a house and a home, but he is so wild and crazy. It's ridiculous. But the energy he brings is so fun. And he's so lovable because he has the cutest little dimples and the biggest smile ever. My baby girl, my 3rd child, she is 1. She just turned 1 not that long ago. And she's the boss. She is a bossy little thing. Her favorite word right now is no. And the way she says it, she puts such stink on it. She be like, no. And I just look at her and I roll my eyes because I cannot stand when she says that to me. I think it's just the way she says it. Something about a girl, it's just so much extra sass in there. So I'll be like, do you want this? No. And I'm like, girl, you're 1, like, calm it down. Just say no, like in a cute way. And she does not at all. She will tell you that she doesn't want it and she has no problem speaking up about it. So that's my girl. It's my girl. Also, she loves shoes. So she likes to walk around everywhere with shoes on. She's had a thing right now for putting on my other baby's shoes. She has a pair that she likes, and obviously they're way too big for her, but she tries to put them on anyways. And then she trips over her feet, and try explaining to a stubborn 1-year-old that the shoes are too big. That's why you're falling. So I have to like take the shoes and hide them. And then she cries. And when I tell you she cries like she is genuinely and insanely hurt. And I'm like, why are you crying? And then you pull out the shoe and instantly she stops. Instantly. And she smiles. So you know she like trigger cries. Like if you take something away from her that she really wants, or if you don't let her have her way, she instantly cries. And it's like they cry on demand. It's crazy. It turns from a fake cry into like a real cry. And then it's like you change the subject or you give in to what they want and instantly it stops. And I'm like, this is crazy. But anyways, enough about the kids. The kids though are why I wanted to start this podcast. Ever since I had my first child, I just feel like motherhood is my heartbeat. Like they say, like kids are your heart outside your body. And I truly, 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 truly feel that way. Ever since I had my first child, ever since I was pregnant with him and I started sharing the news that I was pregnant and I was expecting my first child, I feel like I just connected with so many people in talking about motherhood. Like that was just always the topic of conversation. No matter who I saw or who I was talking to, it was always a conversation about kids. There were so many tips and advice people would give you when you're pregnant. Then after you have your first child and you go through different experiences with your first child, you talk to others about what you're going through and they're like, oh yeah, it gets easier, or this was hard for me. And it's like you just share these things with other mothers, and it's like such a relatable topic to people that I just clicked with people. It's like, you ever know when you're talking to a stranger and like you just don't know what to talk about. So you're like, oh yeah, the weather is nice. It's really sunny outside. Like it always defaults to the weather, right? Well, I feel like when you're a mom, it always defaults to kids. Like you always have something to talk about with mothers about kids. So motherhood is just a subject that I love talking about. When I had my first, I remember one of the best things I love to talk about was all the gear that I would get when they come out with new things. And every time I get something, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a different season of my child's life. Like they're just growing up. They need something different. This fits my needs better. When I have a diaper bag, like sometimes I need a smaller diaper bag to take to the store. Sometimes I need the bigger diaper bag when we're going out and we're going to be gone for the full day. So it was different things that changed. And I just loved sharing what I got, what was new, what was going on in my life. And yeah. So anyways, the podcast. I hope to grow this into a community of moms that just like to talk about motherhood, the good, the bad, the ugly, and who are just honest about it, because some people are struggling like me. I am in that area of life where I am on the struggle bus, and some people have it down to a science, and we need the tea. This has just been on my heart to do this podcast for a really, really long time. And the vision, I just see this podcast, I see this space as a space for us moms to come, be vulnerable, have honest conversations. Motherhood is so broad and yet so niche down in different stages of life. It is crazy. Like I'm sure we've all been in the newborn stage where the baby cried and we're like, why is my baby crying? I had a baby who had colic or the witching hour, and that was like the worst thing ever. And I'm surprised I had more kids after that, because that was my first child that had that. And it was horrible. I think it was like 2 a.m. every night on the dot for like a month. It was mad crazy, but it was a phase. We got over it. I just feel like things like that show you the different phases of motherhood. But anyways, today we're going to talk about kind of the chaos of motherhood, especially right now that it's summertime. Like we just know that summertime is such a chaotic period of life because the kids are at home. Well, for me, my kids have always been at home because they haven't quite yet went to school. But I feel like even with my kids being at home, there is still a shift in summer. I feel like we went from having this really structured schedule to like being all over the place because the kids want to go outside all day. We have errands to run. We have things to do. It's beautiful. And I just feel like it's such a chaotic time because there's no structure to the schedule. If your kids are in school, they're at home right now. They're probably eating you out of a house and home, begging for your attention all day, every day, asking for a toy, asking to play a video game. And that can be very chaotic. So there was this one time, and it was during summer. It was right after I had my third child. I remember my baby had been invited to a birthday party, and I was like, well, I don't want him to miss it just because I had a baby. So they were with grandma, and I was like, well, if you guys want to take him, I'm fine with him going. Take the boys, because it was him and his brother. I was like, go ahead and take the boys to the birthday party. And so my niece ended up taking the two boys and her daughter to the birthday party at a jumping place. I don't know. It's one of those trampoline park type places. And I felt so bad because this was my baby's first like birthday party for someone. He had his friend from pre-K invited like the whole class to a birthday party. And I was like, I don't want Xander to miss the birthday party because I'm at the hospital with the baby. And so even then I was like, if I am home from the hospital with the baby, like I'm still like just had a newborn. So I was like, how do you make that work? Right. So he and his brother got to go to the party. My niece took them, and I felt so bad because I was like, he didn't bring the boy a gift. And I wanted to make sure that he got to get his friend a gift and he got to show up to the party and all the things, right? So this is how important this was to me. We had just got discharged from the hospital. We drove home to our area where we lived in, because the hospital we went to was like 35 minutes away from our house, 40 minutes with traffic. So we drove about 40 minutes close to our house, because it was like a Saturday. I got discharged from the hospital and the birthday party was on the Saturday. So we drove all the way to Target by my house. I went into Target, and I'm telling you, I got discharged from the hospital. We drove straight to Target. I went into Target, got the boy a gift, got a gift bag, a gift, a card, everything, put it all together. And then from Target, we went to the trampoline place and dropped off the gift to my baby. And I really wanted to see him at the party too, and see like what he looked like and how he was having fun with his friends. So I only stayed for like 5-10 minutes because we had a newborn. So we brought her in. We had her all covered up and stuff. She was a newborn, so she was asleep, obviously. And I remember we brought her in. I had her all covered, and we walked through this trampoline park. And I was like, what in the world is this? I just got discharged from the hospital, and I'm walking through this park. Kids are darting in front of me. They had like the ropes where kids are literally climbing above my head. Kids are jumping over here. There were so many kids, so much yelling and so much screaming. It was so chaotic. And I just remember thinking like, I'm happy I came, and I'm happy I showed up for my child. I'm happy I got to see this moment, him and his friends, him at his first like big birthday party that he got to go to. And I was just so happy that I was able to be there for that moment. And so the message of it is there's such a blessing in the chaos of motherhood, especially right now. It's summertime. And a quote that I saw that I really liked is, "The days are long, but the years are short," by Gretchen Rubin. And I remember thinking about this quote, and I'm like, you know what? It's so crazy to think that this experience that I just told you about was a year ago, right? And I was carrying my youngest child. Well, not carrying, but I was bringing her because she was in her car seat. But I was bringing my youngest child to this party to see my oldest. And my youngest was a newborn. And now to think about this experience a whole year later, that she is walking. Like I remember when I was holding her and she would cry and I'd have to walk her around. She liked to walk. And I'd have to walk her around to go to sleep at night, or when she wanted to take her nap. She liked to be held, and she liked to be held a certain type of way. And I remember how I held my baby and walked around with her and rocked her and sang to her. I actually like to watch TV when she would take her nap. I watched like all the seasons of The Chi when I had her last year, because I had never watched it. So I started watching it last year. And I remember when right when I'm postpartum, I always like to watch a TV show. That's just one of the things that I do. And I remember that I really enjoyed watching the TV show with her, and I'd have to walk her and rock her around. And now to think that she is 1 year old and that she's basically walking. She's still kind of like stumbling around, but she's basically walking. She's eating solid foods. She doesn't really want to nurse anymore. She doesn't even really want to feed from me anymore. And I was like, oh my gosh, like the time goes by so fast. Like she's such a big girl. And to think about the season of life, it's like just like summer, the current stage your child in is just a season, and it will be over just like that. Summer feels like a marathon. Like we're running and running at the beginning of the race and there is no end. But if we just keep putting one foot in front of the other, eventually we'll see the finish line and eventually this season will come to an end. So just value the time that you have, value the chaos, because eventually it'll be over and you'll be like, what happened? Like, where did everyone go? So I think some things like we have to remind ourselves when we're in such a chaotic environment, especially in summertime, we have to remind ourselves that it's okay to be tired. It's okay to be exhausted. It's okay to feel overstimulated. Like it's like go, 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 and there's no break sometimes. And it's okay to just sit in those feelings and feel that. It's also okay to need a break. It's to take time to yourself, to give yourself grace, as they like to say. It's okay to feel stretched thin because we are only one person. I have 3 kids and sometimes it's like they all want me at the same time and it's like I am only one person. Like one take one leg, one take another and one take an arm and I have one arm to myself. But at the end of the day, I am one person. So it is okay to feel like I am one person because I am. I think something that came to my mind is the feeling of when it comes to the feeling of being stretched thin is it's kind of like feeling like a rubber band. Like it's a nice thick rubber band. Like we have thick skin, we're tough, right? But when you pull it and you pull it and you pull it and you stretch it, you can only stretch it so far, but eventually it will snap back, right? So we're able to be pulled and we're able to be pulled in different directions and pulled apart, but eventually we will be put back together. Eventually we will snap back. And it's just important that we know our limits of how far we can be pulled so we don't snap. And that's why it's very important to take breaks. It's very important to kind of just let go and kind of stop overthinking and to be kind to yourself. And especially it's summertime, you should be enjoying your summer just like your kids are. Be a kid just like them. Enjoy moments that they enjoy. Take time to enjoy moments with them. Some things you can do to enjoy time with your kids is actively plan activities to do with your kids. Then it won't feel like life is happening to you, like the kids are like running you because you're planning things to do with your kids. Some things that I like to do or I think are fun to plan is right now it's summertime. I've seen a lot of people do like the strawberry picking and peach picking. And I'm like, how nice is that to be able to go to this nice open field with your kids, let them kind of run around, be outside in nature, see where the fruit comes from. Another thing is the zoo. I absolutely love going to the zoo. That's one of my favorite things to do. And I'm actually surprised we don't do it more often because I love the zoo. I love looking at the animals. I love looking at nature, but it's something about seeing the animals. I just absolutely love it. That's a fun activity to do. It's something that you like and it's something that they like. Maybe you don't like the zoo. Maybe you like the aquarium. Maybe you like the museum. Take them somewhere that you like. Another thing that I really wanted to do, so if you don't want to take the kids out and you want to do things from home, I got the paint easels from IKEA. I want to plan a day where I put them on the patio and we paint. I just want to do like the splatter paint or like a nice watercolor paint. But it's something that if you're artistic or if you just want to do something different, you can do with your kids and your kids will enjoy it. And they will enjoy the fact that you took time to do something with them as well. Do things with your kids. When your kids are playing on the floor, maybe they have their Legos, or I know my kids like their magnets, the little magnet tiles. Sit on the floor and build stuff with them. Take time and do nothing but be with your kids. So what do I mean by that? Like sometimes I try to vacuum, or while they're playing with their toys, I try to clean up the toys. Or while they're eating breakfast, I try to do the dishes. And it's like sometimes the cleaning can wait. The other activities you have to do can wait. Let the activity be your kids, doing the activities with your kids. And you'll find that it's such a enjoying moment to see what your kids do. My kids love to build things, and it's like, wow, ask them questions. What did you build? Build something with them. Remember what it was like when you were a kid and you got to do things and it seemed like your parents weren't interested or they were doing something else. It's like we have to undo that, and sometimes we have to be present and just sit there and do the things with them. Another thing that I love to do with the kids at home is movie night. The kids have gotten to where they like making the homemade popcorn. They like to put their own little seasonings on the popcorn. We get our blankets and snuggle up on the floor, or we also have a couch. I don't know if they still have it, but at Z Gallery, they had what they called the pit of a couch, and it kind of sits like a little pit. And so everyone can snuggle up in the couch and put their blankets on. But that's a really, really fun activity. So when there's a new movie that drops to stream, we sit there and do that and have movie night in the house, and the kids love it. They feel happy that we're watching a family movie. They like to watch the cartoon, and it also gives you a break where you don't have to really do anything. You kind of sit and just relax, put your feet up, have a snack, have a drink, and enjoy time, but you're also enjoying time with the kids. And also, we talked about it's summertime, it's chaotic, and sometimes you just need a break. So maybe you need to do something like date night or girls' night. Or for me, when I need a break, I just like to go out to the store. I like to do a little shopping, whether it's groceries or household needs, or maybe I need a new t-shirt to wear around the house to clean. That to me is a nice break. So take the breaks when you need it, but also just, it's like, keep calm and carry on. Like, calm down, relax. The chores are going to be there for you to do tomorrow. So don't worry about doing chores like all the time. Like, of course we need to get things done, but sometimes during the summertime, it's just like the thing that needs to be done is spending time with your kids. And sometimes I do things like, if I have to do laundry, I will make us all go to the same room. For example, my oldest, Xander, when I do his laundry, he has a TV in his room. He really doesn't turn it on. He really doesn't watch it like that because he's young, but he has a TV in his room because everyone kind of comes to his room. So when I have to do his laundry, sometimes I let them watch a show. They play with the toys on the floor, and I'm in the same room doing the laundry. So although I'm not playing with them and having like that quality time with them, we're still in the same room, and they see my presence. They get to make toys. They make toys, and they get to show me what they're doing and things like that. Or I ask them, hey, what are you doing? So I still try to show up in that way, even though I have to get done my own stuff. So yeah, summer is such a chaotic time, but summer is fun. It's beautiful outside each and every day. Even when it rains, the sun comes back out the same day. So I'm in Atlanta, right? And it will be sunny. It's like Florida too. Like, it'll be sunny. It'll rain for like a good 15 minutes, and then the sun is out and it's dry, so we can go back outside. My kids love to go outside. So one thing that I do to be present in the summertime is we literally wake up and go outside. I drink my coffee out there. I have my breakfast. I feed my youngest one out there. My kids just go straight to playing, and they don't want to eat right away, and that's fine. So I just make them like some water and some Gatorade, and then we come in and have breakfast after we play. And so that's what they like to do, and they enjoy it. But I don't make my schedule work around theirs, but I make it to where we can work that out. Like, it's nice to sit outside and have coffee first thing in the morning. So we all get to go be outside as a family, but I get to do my own thing. I get to relax, enjoy my coffee. Sometimes I'll read like a few pages of a book or my devotional. I'll read my devotional book in the morning, and I'll sit outside and watch the sun. Well, I guess technically the sun's already up, but you get what I'm saying. I just get to enjoy the breeze and relax first thing in the morning. And that's really, really nice. It also gets me out of the habit of waking up and going straight to cleaning, because that's one of the things that I like to do is I wake up and it's like, we have to clean now. And sometimes it's like, we don't have to do that. So I wake up, take them outside, and I just get to be kind of free. It feels so freeing just to be outside and to be still and to be present. So think of when you were a kid and the things that you wanted to do for summer break, or the things that you wanted to do for summer, and the things that your parents did right and that you like that they did during the summertime, or things that you want to change and do different with your kids. Think about that when it comes to summertime. Like, what did your parents take you on vacation? Did your parents put you in camp? Like, what What are some things that you wish you would have done during summer, and maybe apply that to your kids and let them do those things during the summertime? One thing I want you to take away: remember that you are blessed to be a mother. You are important in your child's life, and your child will appreciate your presence and how you show up for them each and every day. So be present and enjoy your little ones this summer. Have fun just like they do. You want them to have fun. You want them to enjoy the summer, and you should enjoy your summer too. That is it for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next Friday for another new episode. You're probably new here because this whole podcast is new. So leave a comment down below, a thumbs up, some nice positive feedback. Go on all socials and follow the podcast at blessed as a mother on all platforms. Also share with a friend if you have someone that you think would benefit from listening to this episode, or that would like to be a part of a mom community. Share this episode with them. And yeah, I look forward to having more podcast episodes and working on really building this beautiful community of mothers. And until next time, be blessed as a mother. Bye, guys.